Despite his family being steeped in harness racing tradition, my next guest wasn't going down that path. What changed his mind? Well, I caught up with Mark Hewitt to discuss that decision and the wonderful career he has had since making that vital move over to harness racing. Well, Mark, before we have a chat about your wonderful career in harness racing and what happened beforehand, not to be denied, game in defeat once again in the Pink Diamond.
Yes, Mick, she went good. I was a bit dubious about going up to the death seat early. She tends to race a bit fierce there, and she's good with the sit, so it's the first time down here for a while. I thought it'd be better to go back, and she managed to get second, so it wasn't too bad. Yeah.
Ideal in Dreams had that nice cosy 3-peg run.
Yeah, that's right. The outside runners in front of me couldn't keep up enough to keep her in, and she got out and sprinted quickly.
Mark, she's well named, not to be denied. She's now had 18 starts for 10 wins and 6 placings. She just keeps trying. She's a lovely filly, yeah. She's a good racehorse. She wants to win, and that's a big thing, isn't it? Yeah, makes racehorses. Third generation. Your father Tom certainly synonymous with harness racing. Then Bernie and David, the younger brothers. Now, Mark, here's your chance. What were they like growing up? Did they annoy you?
No, I probably annoyed them more than they annoyed me. We were a very happy family. Yes. We all got on really well together, all worked well together, and I think that shows too in the success we've had, with Dad and now on our own as we've grown up. Yeah, so it's been good. Of course, it's more than a third generation. Dad's father, so my grandfather and my great-grandfather, they were all into harness racing to some degree. The first, I was saying the other day to some of the first recorded accounts I've seen of the Hewitts racing was in the 1890s in pony trots at parish picnics and things like that. So they've been at it a long time. And my great-grandfather, he had. They used to run race meetings on his farm in the 1920s, and so it's been there for a long time. Yeah.
You reluctantly moved into harness racing just as a hobby trainer, but you were a full-time shearer, back-breaking work.
Yeah, I left school and just went into the sheds with one ambition to shear sheep. I was really interested in it, and I wondered why after a while. It was too hard to work, but it's a skill, and it was something you keep trying to improve. And I shore for 28 years, always working a horse or two, and before I'd go to work or whatever. And there were some big hours, and I always had the help of my brothers and Dad because they were at a team going, full time down at his place. So I always had plenty to line up with if I wanted some fast work over a weekend or that sort of thing. And eventually I had a farm. I moved to a farm at Grenfell and still shearing as well. And my kids were starting to grow up, and they were handy help too. And my wife, she wasn't too interested in the farm or the horses, but she wanted to move to town and get a job. So I said, I was sick of the shearing by that stage. So I said, I'll go and work a few horses, and that's what it just started from there. That was 2003.
Mark, what are we talking about as far as numbers per day?
In the sheep shearing? I'd shear around 120 average, and of course those days it was mainly narrow combs when I started, and the sheep were tougher, a lot tougher. These days it's a totally different ball game. Shearers are well trained. They've got a lot of very important shearing skills, and you use wide combs, and the sheep are bred a lot plainer now. They've just improved the sheep so much, and they've grown better wool on plainer bodies. And so, and of course, I started on 45 cents a sheep, shearing sheep, and I finished on about $1.60 something, I think. And we thought it was a lot of money, and now they get paid anywhere between $4 and $5 a sheep. So, and the sheep are better. So, I was born too early.
What flicked the switch, Mark, to take up harness racing full time?
Oh, just the fact that the family were changing, and I was getting sick of the shearing, and I just thought I might do it easier working a few horses and just doing my own thing. And because it soon got bigger and bigger, and then I've had a dozen in work there all the time since. Didn't take long to get up to a dozen, but and I've worked more, but it's too much. Yeah, so I'm trying to cut back numbers now a bit as I get a bit older and a bit more lazy.
You've had some wonderful horses, Mark. Make every sense. 2014 Bathurst Gold Tiara win.
Yeah, that was very special. Yeah, it's a local race virtually up there for us, and to be able to, I ran second with Burning Stature, a filly that I have a third share in. It might be 2008 or something like that, and then I thought that was great, getting beat ahead. But then we were able to make every sense home in 2014, I think, and that was a real thrill. Yeah.
2IC is a wonderful story, an outstanding talent, because he just had the one eye, and he also had a number of other issues. Did we ever really see the best of him?
No, I don't think he did. He did have a lot of issues. He was young and game as a 2-year-old, and he was pretty special then. But even as a 3-year-old, he was restricted, and they retired him at 4. But Luke McCarthy thought he could do more with him down here on the coast and up in the dusty conditions up where we are. And he had him working down here pretty well, and he won another 80,000, I think, down here at Menangle, so that was pretty good. But it's just a shame. A lot of ability and a good racehorse, and such a special horse to be able to do all that with one eye and trust. He just was so trusting in what you do for him and whatever. And of course, one of the most special things was Jackie Gibson. She thinks the world of her horses and makes sure people know about them, and she did all that and made him a special horse. Yeah.
Of course, Jackie Gibson, synonymous with success, stud, well named, but she certainly played a very big influence on your career.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I'm the luckiest trainer in New South Wales to have Jackie Gibson ask me to work some of her horses. Yeah, and it was shown just a couple of weeks ago. I started a filly, a new 2-year-old. I Keep Smiling, and she's got a fair bit of ability as well. And she ran second and won a race in 2 starts, and so she's good. She's really nice as well.
Outside of the family, Mark, other influences on your career?
Yes. I was grew up with horses with my family, but I met a special man once. His name was Henry Davies. He came from down this way at Thirlmere or somewhere, and he bought a property out near my place, and I used to shear for him. And he showed me a lot with horses. He was a very special man with horses. So he had a big influence on me. Yeah.
One thing in harness racing, there's plenty of Turnbulls, there's plenty of Hewitts, but your 4 kids all went in different career paths.
Yes, their mother wasn't real keen on them doing anything with horses, and I didn't say anything because it's not an easy life, training horses. And the first 2 boys used to do fast work with me when they were very young, and they were very capable. And but they went off and did other careers then, and that's all right. I didn't worry. But the second boy, Andy, he still shows a lot of keenness and would like to get into it. But he's got 3 young boys himself, and got some big, commitment, so he's a bit tied down there and can't get back to the horses. But anyway, he might one day. He'll be able to start training a few or something. Yeah.
You mentioned Andy, the Jeremy and Luke, and your daughter Elizabeth.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and they're all good supporters. Yeah. So and I've got 8 grandchildren, and and they call me Horsey Granddad. So they don't see me much, not as much as I'd like to, and because I'm always busy at Grenfell, and they're spread around at different places like Burra and Cowra and now Wagga. Yeah.
What's the plans now with Not to Be Denied?
She won her heat of the Breeders' Challenge at Dubbo, and so the main race is the semi-final on the 22nd of this month, of October. Hopefully she can qualify for the final and do well there as well. Yeah.
Mark, great to catch up with you, and hopefully we'll be seeing Mark Hewitt and Not to Be Denied back in the winner's circle here at Club Menangle sooner than later.
Oh, it'd be a pleasure, I can tell you. Yeah, good, thanks, Mick.